Okay, next I need to add another button for our transaction. I will copy. I will add 4 buttons. First, I will put here, this is cmdSave. Then here, I will make it, I'll put down. Save. Then here, this is in. I will change to cmd in, and here also I will put cmd out, and caption is out. Then here I will put here caption. Next, trans. So this is for next transaction, and I will rename cmd next. Then okay, now we have buttons. In our on current, I will put this one, transaction ID. On current, I will put Me.cmdNext.Enable equal, I will put not is null. Then our transaction ID, trans ID. So meaning, if our transaction ID is blank, so this cmd next will be disabled. I will copy. Then here we'll put also cmd in. If this transaction ID is blank also, the cmd in is disabled also. The next is cmd out. Then here cmd save also. So all this one button will be disabled if the transaction ID is blank. Then on load event, here I will put Me.cmd next again that enable equal not is null. then TransID. Then every time we will open our form, so we need to proceed or go to the new record, meaning it becoming blank in order to fresh transaction. Okay, do cmd dot go to record, then active object, data object rather, then comma, another comma, then we'll choose act new record. Okay, look, if we will open, automatically this one will be blank. As you can see here in our item, it's showing new, so meaning we are in the new record. So our form is ready for the transaction. Okay, then we will add this one. I will go item details. On click here, we'll put do cmd dot open form, then double quote, then our form item details, double quote, then comma, 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 then act form add. We'll try. Look, if you open this form directly here, it shows the first row, but if we will use this button, since we put some code, it's coming blank. We'll close. So now here we need to add some code also into item code. This is the CBO item here after update. So after we select this one, our CMD next also must be enabled. Then this save and next, so this button must be disabled or enabled rather, because as you can see here, our button now is all are disabled because our transaction ID is blank. So now look, all are disabled. So now we will put a code after I select this one. This save and next transaction must be enabled. That is why we need to add another code here after update. So we need to put Me.cmdNext.Enabled equal true. Then Me.cmdSave also .enable equal true. Look, still disabled, but if I select, look what happened. If I select this one, automatically this one will enable. Okay, then again, if I click this one or select, this one will enable, but these two buttons still disabled. Why? Because we need to restrict this one before we will make it save. So again, since this, if we will click this stuck in, this form must be open. So whatever we select here, then we will click this stuck in, automatically it will open the specific item here. So we need to save first in order to update our inventory transaction. Then that's the time we need to input our stuck in quantity. Okay, so by this one, we need to put a code after clicking this save button in order to enable this stuck in and stuck out. So we have an option either to open stuck in and stuck out. So we will put code here. First is Me.cmdNext.Enabled equal true. Then Me.cmd.out.enable equal true. Then Me.last as you can see here, we have this one is quantity on hand, and now we have a failed last transaction. So this text box we will not manually input here. So using this save button, whatever the current quantity, automatically it will stamp here. Okay, so again I will go back to button here. Me.last transaction quantity equal whatever the quantity equal Me.quantity on hand. So again, this last transaction quantity field with our transaction form automatically fill with our current inventory from inventory table. And now we need to put those cmd.save in order to save our record. Then me.refresh to refresh. Then here we need to add also the message box in order to again to notify our user successfully save, double quote, then comma, then VB information, then we'll put save. Okay, then Me.cmd, after we save, then our cmd save button must be disabled. So enable equal false. Otherwise, if we will not disable, if we will click accidentally this save button again, this one will give us a problem because it will stamp the current quantity into our last quantity text box. That is why we need to disable after this message box pop up. Okay. Then next, we will put a code here, stuck in, then go to event, on click. I will copy to avoid any wrong spelling, and then here this is if rm stuck in, if rm stuck out. We'll open that form. Do cmd.open form, then if rm stuck in, then double quote, then comma, comma, comma. Now we need to put a condition. So the condition is whatever the current transaction ID equal, this is transaction ID, this is the inventory transaction primary key, and we will concatenate with the text box, which is transaction ID. So whatever the current, because when we click save, automatically that data will came here. So if we will select that item into our transaction history, it will open based on this transaction ID, not the item code, but the transaction ID, in order to facilitate our transaction which is stuck in and stuck out. Okay, look again, if we will open, then if we will click, as you can see here, there's no transaction yet. If I click save, so again this one is still 0 because our inventory is 0. Now if I click this in, look, whatever I selected here, this is item transaction ID 1, and this stock control number, this is the same. Look, I will open the form, inventory table, right? Inventory, this is the one. So we need to input our stock in for this 1234 CRT. 1234 CRT. I will put, let's say 50. Then hit the tab. Debug. We have some issue here. I forgot to put here that edit. This is the issue. Make it clean. We'll close, and I will change also here stuck out. Edit. So that's the issue. Okay. Again, it's already saved. Then click stuck in. Look, if I type again 50, then if I will hit it, tab, look, item, one item sample only added to the current inventory. This one. This is the description sample only. Then if I hit OK, automatically this form will be closed and this current quantity will be updated. Look. Now our current quantity is updated. Then if we will use also this stuck out, so there's no code yet, we'll just only copy. Then here we'll change stuck out, frm stuck out, again we'll select here, let's say we'll also choose this one because we need to try our, so whatever we select here, after selection we must save. Then this is 50, we'll choose stuck out, then GP123. Then here if we will type, let's say 25, automatically whatever the current quantity will be changed to 25. I will hit the tab. Look, item sample only deducted to the current inventory quantity. If I hit OK, this one will make it 25. Look, sorry, here must be minus because this is stuck out. Again, we'll open 75, then save, then stuck out, we'll put any number or letter, then this one, then stuck out, let's say 50, then hit tab. Look, the transaction type also is stuck out. If I hit OK, automatically it will become 25. Look. So on that time, before we process our current selected item, so this is the last quantity, 75. So meaning it will show our inventory. This one is blank because why? We did not use first this quantity stuck in and stuck out. We did not process. We just started here. So whatever we choose stuck in, so it coming 50, stuck out, it's coming 15. This is the stamp from last transaction, and this one, and this is the current inventory, 50, 25 and 25. We'll check the inventory here, 25, the last inventory for this item. It's showing here 25 because it's the same item which we process. That is why whatever the current inventory, it reflects also the specific items. Okay, then now we have the complete process for stuck in and stuck out. Then if we will proceed to another transaction, just only click this next. So we need to put some code here in the next also. do cmd dot go to record, then double quote, so our form or object name is the transaction form. Then act new record. Again, if we'll process for here, save, stuck in, automatically whatever the stuck tracking control number, it will fill here, then stuck in, let's say 50, hit tab, then okay, now we have 50. Then for the next transaction, just only click this one, lock, it will make a blank. Okay, so now our next topic, we need to put our report